Hello, middle school parents. I want to talk to you today about some important tips to help you help your child be successful during school. And, a lot of times we think about a bad grade, a forgotten assignment, a lunch left in the car, whatever it is. Failure isn't easy to a struggling middle school student. This is a time in their life where they truly struggle with organization, but it also presents the opportunity to really help them focus and to gain some organizational skills during this point in their life. It's pretty tough for you as a parent too. So still learning to deal with life's ups and downs. And, it's really important. And so, in fact, our adolescents have to experience these challenges too in order to learn from them. So the first tip I'd like to offer you is to, and I know it's hard, but let your middle schooler deal with it. Okay. A lot of times it's our instinct to try to shield them from experiencing failure. But in fact, kids need to learn to deal with disappointment. If your child does poorly on a test simply because they did not prepare for that test, then they need to deal with those consequences. It's okay to coach them through. We've talked about guided decision making before. Coach them through the mistake of maybe they just didn't spend enough time preparing instead of making excuses for them or blaming the teacher for that grade when in fact it's just that they fell short of being prepared for the assignment. So, one bad grade is not going to, determine that your child is on a terrible path for their future. But your middle schooler will need to learn to be resilient. And if you constantly go ahead of them and remove the bumps from the road for them, then they're not going to learn to be resilient. And you want kids and adults that are resilient in the future. So your middle schooler needs to learn that they have choices to make. And making one D or an F is not the end of the world as long as they learned something from that mistake. And, don't make those excuses for them. Again, hold them accountable for the lack of preparation that they had. Help that middle school child dig in, work harder next time. For those are the moments that the Lord uses to teach them to build character, to build independence, and to build maturity. The second tip I want to give you is to help you set limits for them. Middle schoolers crave boundaries. They really do. Don't be afraid of setting limits for them, particularly when it comes to the use of cell phones. You may hear from time to time from them that you're absolutely the worst parent, that no other middle schooler's parent does the same thing. But without limits, our children feel like rules don't apply to them. And they gain a sense of entitlement that you don't want them to have because they feel like they deserve special treatment. Middle schoolers by nature are very impulsive. They're very controlled by their whims. And you need to help your student establish boundaries that will teach them to control those impulses and focus on what needs to be done, particularly when it comes to homework, to doing homework, to checking to make sure they haven't missed any assignments along the way, and from doing chores at your house. Use them to help you at home. This is one of the fruits of the Spirit that the Lord talks about in Galatians 5:23, and it will serve to help them function the rest of their lives. The third thing I want to talk to you about is helping your middle schooler value hard work. One of the most important traits that you can use to help your child develop is just really a good, strong work ethic. We want our kids to work hard. We want them to know that hard work is part of being successful as an adult, a functioning adult in society, and particularly in those high school years that they're headed into, we want them to have independence in completing that work, not complaining about work being hard or grumbling. It's simply what God designed us to do. And so when you pave the way for them, you are depriving them of the very important social and emotional tools that they need for life. So encourage them to take care of others and to take care of themselves themselves require them to help around the home. Successful people have self-control and they communicate their feelings respectfully. And so they need to know how to be that team player and how to have that strong work ethic. And most importantly, they need to show resilience. They need to understand perseverance, to keep on keeping on when times are tough. We need young adults who have what we call grit. Okay, we need to help them get right back up after they crash. We need to teach them that true joy and gratitude come from working hard and from pressing on. And these are all the traits that they need to succeed. And so, truthfully, if you step in and you shield your middle schooler from rejection, from disappointment, and from failure, then you fail to teach these traits to them. Parenting is tough. I know, I've been there, but you're tougher. And the payoff is worth every bit of investment that you make in your students by letting them not take the easy way out, but to stick in there and to make sure that they develop that work ethic that God designed them to have. So know that I'm praying for you, know that I'm here for you, and I look forward each day to meeting your family in the middle.